One Piece, a show about happy-go-lucky pirates just trying to be free and having fun. So, it's probably pretty easy to figure out who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. So, who are the good guys? Well, the main characters are pirates, so they must be the good guys, right? Being the main characters and all. The Straw Hats are unconventional pirates, but they are still pirates. They're fine with stealing and doing other nefarious things. But fine, let's simplify things and say that they're the good guys because they're the protagonists. The heroes of our story, despite Luffy explicitly saying that he isn't and doesn't want to be a hero. Although to be fair, the reason he doesn't want to be a hero is because he doesn't want to share any meat at the feast after doing heroic things. So, take that as you will. So, if pirates are the good guys, the bad guys must be the people going after the pirates. So, the Marines, right? Let's count all of the times the Marines have been the bad guys that needed to be fought and stopped because they were oppressing people and or just generally being evil. Right out of the gate, we've got Axe Hand Morgan, the first arc. Off to a great start. And then we have nothing. That was the only time, as far as I can remember. And who did they really save by taking out Axe Hand Morgan? The Marines serving under him. To make things worse, he was brainwashed by a pirate. There's a good chance he never would have been that full of himself or power crazy if it weren't for the hypnotism. Throughout the story, the Marines tend to be more of just an obstacle to avoid. Rarely, if ever, are they the antagonist to defeat besides that one time with Morgan. Then who are all of the villains in One Piece? There must be real antagonists, right? It's a battle shonen. Yes, there are. Pirates. The antagonists of One Piece are pirates. So the bad guys are pirates, and honestly, rightly so. There's a good reason the people of the One Piece world think that pirates are bad guys. And it's not just government propaganda. So that must mean that we come full circle. The protagonists must be the ones actively hunting down the bad guys for being bad guys, making them the good guys. I mean, they mostly just fight the bad guys because they just happen to be there and the bad guys just happen to mess with them or their friends. The ones actually actively hunting down the bad guys? The Marines. I mean, yes, in several cases, the bad guy pirates were affiliated with the Marines or the world government in one way or another, but they were doing the nefarious things kind of in secret. Yes, the Marines and world government knew that they were pirates, but you also know that the Straw Hats are pirates, and they don't seem too bad. If the Marines knew of the really bad things that these affiliated pirates were doing that were so bad that the Straw Hats decided that they would step in, then the Marines would also have stepped in. And in fact, most of the time, if not all the time, they have. It's just the Straw Hats were what brought it to light. They want to help, but they can't openly do so, really, because then they would be openly helping pirates not affiliated with the Marines take out a pirate who is affiliated with the Marines, and it would look bad because they let that happen in the first place, so it gets a little complicated. The one exception to that, really, probably being Onion Man, and, I mean, if you think about it, the stuff that he was doing, who was he taking out? Who's he doing bad things to? Mostly pirates. It's kinda, useful for the Marines. Up until now, if I really needed to say who the good guys were and who the bad guys were, I probably would have been like most of you and would have said that the pirates fighting for freedom are the good guys while the oppressive world government are the bad guys. But now that I really think about it, I would probably say that the Marines are the good guys and pirates are the bad guys. The Straw Hats are some of the best and kindest pirates in the One Piece world. And even they are, as I said, pirates still. They still do nefarious things. They do far more good than harm. So I'm fine with saying that they're good guys. They're good people. But the vast majority of pirates are not. And the Marines that know Luffy and his crew, they're pretty lenient with them. Let's be honest. Smoker's got that, kind of friendly rivalry. But it's still, they work together quite a bit. And can you, imagine trying to explain to the higher-ups why you're letting this world-famous pirate just go? I mean, you gotta keep up appearance to some degree, right? You would be so much less effective if you had to decide, who's all the good pirates and who's all the bad pirates. All the pirates are bad to an extent. They're all breaking laws. So you're not just gonna let them go. You're the enforcing body. You are the executive branch, essentially, of the world government. You need to arrest people who are breaking laws, okay? But again, I would only say either group are the good guys and the other group's the bad guys if I was forced to assign those labels. But given the choice, I would never do that. It's a mixed bag. They even established that in the first episode of the anime. There's good pirates, there's bad pirates. There's good people who are pirates, there's bad people who are pirates. There's good people who are Marines, there's bad people who are Marines. That being said, just because I don't think there are sides of good guys and bad guys, that doesn't mean that I just think that everyone's just middle of the road. Alright? No, just like in our world, just about everyone is a mix of good and bad. No, it isn't like some spectrum either. You don't unlock new good traits as you go up the leveling tree. If you have this good trait, it's not like you already have all the previous ones. There's good traits, there's bad traits. You have a mixed bag of good traits and bad traits, good personality bits, bad personality bits, good chunks, evil chunks. And those chunks, they could be, on some kind of spectrum. It's a very subjective spectrum, but more so, it's the weighing of those bad traits, how much weight you're putting to those bad traits that make you decide who's good and evil. But there are also a few characters that I would say are arguably pure good, at least from what we know, and some I would argue are pure evil. Now this might change when we learn more about some shadowy characters that are kind of still just being introduced. But thinking about it, all of the characters that I might argue are pure good are either on the Marines, like Kobe and T-Bone, or are part of or rulers of a kingdom, like Otohime, maybe Cobra, King Riku. Meanwhile, all of the characters I might argue are pure evil are pirates, like Teach and Dofi. It really just kind of makes the Marines look more good, and the pirates look more evil when the evil people are pirates and the good people are Marines. Not all Marines are good, though, I will say that. I do think some are bad people, even besides Morgan, and there's obviously some good pirates. Now, there are also quite a few people sort of on the Marine side of things, typically like to wear bubbles on their heads, but I would argue that they aren't pure evil. Might look like it, but sometimes it's hard to distinguish pure evil and pure stupid. We've seen what happens when one of them is educated, when one of them sees the truth and how things really are. What happened to him? He became arguably one of the best pure-hearted characters very quickly because he was treated with kindness and educated. I should also point out that these pure good and pure evil characters, a lot of the times when you have pure evil and pure good characters, they're really shallow, really kind of boring characters. But Oda does a good job. He has fleshed out these characters. They have reasons for being the way they are. Does that excuse them being the way they are? No, but you can kind of understand to a degree, and you can say, okay, yeah, that's pretty evil, as opposed to, like, I want to destroy everything because I want to destroy everything. Yeah. Man, I never, ever would have thought that I would honestly be saying that the Marines and maybe even world government are good. That feels weird. Still gotta take them down though, of course. But you gotta figure out a better system before you do. It'd be real bad to just wipe them out, because they are doing a lot of good, whether you like it or not. I mean, a lot of bad too, but still a lot of good.